Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this Friday morning. We're getting ready for a great weekend in the outdoors. But first, let's take a look at our weather, which a lot of times determines what we're going to do in the outdoors. Brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard and the hard-working boys up there and ladies up there in Southport. We're looking right now at a high today of only 66, a perfect low of 50, and looking at the water temperature, between 59 and 60 has been fluctuating, so everything looks good there. Our river readings, it don't look good on the river, okay? Still, it's dropping out, but it's still high. The Apalachicola at Bluntstown is right at 15 foot this morning, and it's dropping a little bit. And the Chartesy Caryville is reading right under 9 foot. So it's going to be high water on the river this weekend. It's going to be challenging to get out there and catch some fish. You can catch them, but it's not going to be, it's going to be, like I said, a challenging situation. Water moving around a lot of stuff in the water too. Okay, let's look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Today is, like I say, the 11th. We're looking at really good, strong tides today on into the weekend, especially on into all the next week. It's really good, strong tides. Our wind now will be coming out of southeast for a change, at only about 5 to 6. So we're looking at a good day. We've got a little bit of weather coming in sometime this weekend. Just keep your eyes on it. But it's going to be a beautiful weekend, so take advantage of it. All right, let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll be right back with some good stuff. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look. One thing coming up, and I haven't talked about this a lot, but we have a youth, I did mention a while back, but this coming Saturday, this is tomorrow, the second Youth Waterfowl Hunting Day. We had it earlier, but anyway, that's this weekend. And if 15 years old or younger to hunt ducks, geese, mergansers, okay, so that's all through there. Okay, that's tomorrow, so you still got that 1 week left. I just got a couple of pictures here. This is my buddy Eric Johnson. He's a welding teacher up there at Haney, and he was able to get him a nice buck in this cold weather the other morning. Good job, Eric Johnson. He's a good hunter. Lives up there in Graceville. Folks, Eric is a dedicated teacher. He drives from Graceville to Haney on a daily basis to teach welding, and they have a great program out there. We showed it to you before. And here's another Johnson. This is Travis's folks, Lester Johnson. He's from Defuniak Springs. I don't know if they can or not, but he got another nice buck, a 7-pointer this past weekend just before dark. That's 2 big bucks taken up in that area, up there in Jackson County and over there in Walton County. So good job there. I did want to mention the big thing about, we got, this weekend, next weekend, that sort of wraps it up. And the big thing about it is really getting out there and really focusing on it. I'm going to try to get some hunting in this week. Last weekend was fishing. I'm going to try to dedicate this weekend to hunting. It's a tough decision, but you have to be dictated by what the weather's doing. It was too cold. So anyway, listen, last weekend when I was stopped off at the St. Joe Buffer Preserve, I picked up, you can see, a handful of pamphlets, informational pamphlets. I just want to show you. You can go by there by the visitor center and get any of these. I just want to get them and bring them to you because I like this stuff. I've always, when I go to state parks or national wildlife preserves, any kind of information they got on it, I've always just picked it up and just soaked it in. So here's a little pamphlet here. This just says, this is a lot of these just self-guided tours right here. This little thing right here. All right, this is cool. A checklist of Florida birds, and it's amazing how many birds we have here, but it gives you have your own little checklist. I doubt I filled all this out, but I know the basic birds. I like this too, native wildflowers of the Florida Panhandle. We talk about this every spring, especially the different wildflowers, and they're just cool. And it shows you look here, it shows you the map of actually where the trail you can find. You just want to drive through and look at some of these cool places while they just grow naturally. And the Department of Transportation has also been good now lately last 8 to 10 years, been planting some along the roadways. And this is, again, this expands on this is all statewide. And it shows you, I like this because it has the actual colored pictures. It shows you the colored pictures of all the trails. So that's a great Florida birding and wildlife trail. That was in there. And then this is the Nature Center down in Apalachicola. And this is a cool place. We've been there before and been there a couple of times. So get in touch with nature at the Nature Center down there. This was interesting. Can you see this? This is, we call it a silent takeover. This talks about the invasive plants that we have that's come in our area. And it's got a great color and paintings and everything of it. But this is, these invasive plants, we talk about, kudzu is an invasive plant. There's all kinds of things, and they thrive. I know one thing, the popcorn tree, also known as the Chinese challo, when it first came out, I was tickled with it because it made that little popcorn flowers. And then it was budding over here, jumping up over here, and we would cut them back. In fact, we did this at school. We had one down by the ditch, and I had my class cut it down. Well, the next year, it's coming back up. We cut it down again. It keeps coming because it spreads out. So that's a really good information on that. Now, if you have any kind of little land and all, 20, I'm gonna do this. I've got some place, I've been wanting to do it for a while. 20, this is cool right here. 20 easy to grow wildflowers. And the thing about wildflowers, you ain't gotta take care of them. I mean, once they adapt, so it tells you all the kind of things in here. Isn't that cool stuff there? Okay, and let's see, that's about it. Also, I showed you this yesterday, the buoy system there at St. Joe Bay. So all this is so applicable to Florida Panhandle. These information here about the birds and invasive plants and different things, wildflowers you can plant and all. So that's good stuff, and it's a win-win situation for everybody. A lot of our tax money, all that's supported by the preserve and tax money that we get to buy land and all as a state, as a government agency, and so I appreciate that. One thing too, talking about situation like this, I was thinking the other day, and this is sort of off the subject as far as what I just presented, but it just hit me the other day, and I've talked about it before. Try your best to sort of start documenting your family stories, and it doesn't necessarily have to be outdoor stories, but just if you can interview some of the old timers in your family. And I was with some guys the other day at breakfast, and we talked about some old timers. We looked around and said, well, we're about to look at the old timers, but there's still some folks that around in your family. Find the oldest person in your family and get them to tell you a story. And have that tape recorder. Because sooner or later, somebody else in your family is going to just, man, I didn't know that. And you have that preserved. And we've done some of that. I certainly wish we would have done a lot more of it when I was younger and talked to different ones and all. But I just want to, for somebody that felt like just sharing that with you, that you get your family stories from your folks and all. And a lot of them are going to be outdoor stories too. And the big buck, and back when the fish were this big. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I've been talking about it all week. I've had this short little video, couple of 2 little clips here of this big buck. And I filmed this with my phone. I'm fascinated, I really am, about what good quality we get with our phone photography. So I'm going to show it to you, and I'm not going to tell you where it's at, and I'm not going to tell you why I didn't shoot it. But this is pure raw nature. They caught us by surprise, and bing, there it is. And get the camera out. Oh, get the phone out. So let's see. We're going to try. Let me see if we get the right one here, Jeff. Let's see. I think we'll try this one right here. Is this one showing? Okay. Big buck, don't you think? So that's here in the Florida Panhandle, and what they're doing is just smelling around. See, smelling around. See if there's a doe that's been around that area. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next one. I did a lot of video, but I got a lot more video. I just want to show this, what a big, healthy buck that is. Now this is the second part, walking on past the tree. Is that not cool or what? Okay, and that's and I've got a bunch more pictures too, but I just want to give you an idea. I didn't shoot them, but it's a big buck. I'll leave it at that. Okay, the mystery's out there. I did want to talk about some signs of springs. I took this picture the other day. I sent it to Wendy. Actually, I sent this picture to Wendy because this is over the first place she and Walter lived, a little park. They built a little place across the road. But she planted this not too long after they were married. It still blooms every year. They moved several times since then, but this plant has stayed there. That's a jasmine, and that's one of the first signs of spring, okay? Now I want to show you this situation right here. We're talking about night hunting. I tell you about Paul Stokes with Muddy River Outfitters, and they're up there in Alpha. He sent me this little clip. This is about a little 15-second clip of the night vision and hunting at night, these wild hogs. And keep this in mind, these farmers call him, we got too many hogs. I've heard this story over and over again, how the hogs, and of course I know how they multiply. I mean, they reach maturity at 7 months, and then they can have a couple litters, and they have like sometimes 10 and 12 in a litter, and it just, profusely. So this is night hunting with night optics and all. Let's see if we can show this, Jeff. All right, so here's the vision. Those little white dots are a group of hogs. And now, I don't know who's shooting this, but they missed a couple of times. You can see the dirt go out behind it. But boy, that's cool. That's the military-grade optics. All right, they shot, so they get scattered. They zero in on that one and miss that one, so come here. They go just running around. That's one of the wild hogs. Boom, that's that dirt behind it blowing up. And there's, boom, missed again. All right, they're getting closer. All right, he got that one there. And let's see, missed that one. And anyway, missed those two. So anyway, just keep shooting. That's a lot of fun to do that. And the outfit, we're talking about Paul Stokes up there. It's Muddy Wildlife Management, Muddy River Outfitters there, Wildlife Management. You could go online and find that. I just got the logo from Facebook and all. So that's something cool to do, especially this time of year. It's sort of cool nights and all. And we're halfway through February, and don't forget, Monday will be Valentine's Day. I hope all of y'all are prepared and have some of those presents we suggested. Also, next week, we've got a good week planned out. Monday, I'm going to have a young outdoorsman on the show to share some of the things. He's only 20 years old and has done some really exciting, cool things. So have that on Monday. Tuesday, the Coast Guard Auxiliary will be coming in. Wednesday, have two ladies coming down from Jackson County that they have some great dogs with trailing and tracking and all. And that's a big show. And Thursday and Friday, I don't know what we're going to do Thursday and Friday, but we got next week pretty well planned. Also, I thought about this last night too, a short list to try to get finished up before February. If you're like me, each month I try to have, a lot of times I don't write it down in my mind, I got to get this done this month. And I use my months because of the season. 3 things I'll write down for February. I had my chainsaw out yesterday, and I think, well, it needs to get tuned up. It's a great chainsaw, but I really believe in tune-ups and chain sharpening and all that. So you might want to look at yours, because I plan to cut some firewood pretty soon while it's still cool in between hunting season and springtime. So I'm about out of firewood. I'm going to do that. The second thing I wrote down was just get your spring fishing gear together. If you're like me, you got little sections here, but somehow it all sort of crisscrosses and gets, you know what I'm talking about. It sort of gets all mixed up and all. So I'm gonna here's what I'm gonna fish with this spring. I'm gonna make sure I have my little segment here. And the third thing I wrote down, I do this on a regular basis each year. Document, and by that I mean then you write it down or just remember it, whatever, the late season tactics, what's going on with the deer population. What are the bucks doing in the month of February at your place that you hunt? And you might you can do it now with the cameras a lot, but I still like to walk out. The cameras don't cover everything, and I would certainly like to walk out through the woods and all and see where they've been and about what's going on with them. So try to do that. Okay, those are a little short. That's a short list now. It's not a 10 item list like I normally have. All right. All right, now we're going to give away some seafood, and it's February's a great time to eat seafood, along with other 11 months. Okay, $20 gift certificate to Tarpon Dock Seafood, and the winner is going to be all the way from Lake Victor up there in Westville, Stacy McDougal. Congratulations. All right, and a big red snapper. Folks drive from all over the country to eat our big red snapper down here, fresh. Okay. They're not sticking. Okay, here we go. How about Carol Miller? What do you think about that one? Carol Miller. All right. Is that our Carol? Is that from Lynn Haven? Because I didn't think it was ours because she didn't have. I'm gonna write down Lynn Haven, Carol. All right. Let us know when you're gonna have it done, and Jeff and I'll be over there. All right, let's take a break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at our Friday fishing forecast. We're looking at a situation where it's tough to decide whether you want to fish or hunt. I do want to mention, we made that list of the top 10 Valentine's gifts. The one that's getting the most comments are the multi-colored packages of the beetle spin. And I know some of y'all are really excited about that. And when it came on, Gail was cracking up. She told me she couldn't believe I mentioned that for a Valentine's Day gift. But you gotta have a good sense of humor and laugh every day. A lot of times laugh at yourself. Okay, let's look at the thing about this weekend. We know the river's high, so we're not going to be able to do much river fishing, but that leaves the ponds and the lakes, and also some in the canals, and some creeks. You know, some of these feeder creeks that feed into the bay system, they're not going to, like we were talking about down there, over there, Black Creek, or we're talking about over there, or on the other side down at Sandy Creek, it feeds in the East Bay. Just all kind of creeks that feed in the bay. They won't be really affected by the upper river creeks and all. Keep that in mind. So, in fact, take a look over here in our western viewing area, the Black Creek here, and see how that flows. And the Mitchell River, this is just some great fishing over here between all these creeks over here. And I haven't fished that many over there. I have fished some. They're just some really good. Look at that, all that property and all. But between Bruce and south of Freeport, but anyway, this whole area in here is going to be good. Okay, and again, fishing off the bridge is going to be good. But the feeder creeks and also the bass fishing. All these bass fishermen there's all kind of tournaments this weekend. Several bass tournaments and for the next couple of weeks because the bass are in the pre-spawn. And a lot of bass fishing that are going to be done in the lakes and also in a lot of these ponds and the creeks. And some of these guys go to the river and go up into the sloughs and all, but the river fishing is going to be really challenging. So, but bass for freshwater and all, so bass is going to be strong. And again, people want to know. I've had all kind of questions on the fishing trip that Jerry Forehand and I took, and like I said, we just trolled. Jerry had his controlled up there, and he was just checking out everything. And when we'd go over, and the electronics today are so sensitive. In fact, it won't be long before they're going to have the fish wiggling their tail at you or something when you come over. It's just really cool. But you can sort of see the fish, and fresh water is a lot like salt water. You got a group of them here, and you troll over, and you catch one. In old days, they would have the little. That first electric trolling motor that came out, they would do the same thing and troll over them with the beetle spins up. So anyway, when you find one, then just come back, turn around, and come back through right there, and we made just loop after loop. And then if you want to, you just stop there and cast into them. We didn't. We wanted to cover a couple other places too, but we could have done a lot of fishing there. Let's talk about saltwater right now. Let's get into again, the sheephead bite is still strong. I saw a picture of Rockmeyer caught a nice one the other night. And people talk about night fishing. Folks, night fishing is great off these bridges. You can catch all kind of stuff. A lot of times you're going to catch some sharks, but you can catch a lot and it's a fun thing to do. I know that Lynn Haven Bridge is so easy to get to if you haven't had a chance to get out there and fish. I mean, you can pull your cart up there. It's real easy walking, and it's just some good places to fish. And there's been some nice fish caught off that Lynn Haven Bridge right around the corner from my house. So any kind of fishing bridges and all. Again, I wanted to talk about the jetties over here at the state park. The sheephead is going to be strong there. Really good fishing for the sheephead there. I know one of the best baits for sheephead are the fiddler crab. If you can find some fiddler crabs, because that's normally what they're going to eat. It's a normal natural bait. And even if you just get part of the fiddler crab, they're going to be crazy about them. So keep that in mind. The sheephead is going to be strong. Now also the squid, I wrote that down too. The squid, they should be in prime. I haven't been down around at the end of the Harrison Avenue where a lot of folks go, but I know they're catching some squid. You can just catch them early in the morning, late at night, really in pre-dawn is really some of the best times to go. I remember when we had our station downtown, I would leave really early, like at 3 o'clock, and I would go down all the way down Harrison Avenue, and I would park and just get out and talk to some of the squid fishermen, and then come back and talk about it on the show what they were doing. I don't do that now. We don't cover it like that. But anyway, that's going to be good fishing. Surf fishing, the water's going to be clear. It's just not a lot of, surf fishing is not strong right now. And yes, you're going to catch some, but you're going to spend a couple of hours doing it. You're not going to load the boat. And I saw some pictures the other day. St. Joe Bay should be good shape this weekend. Should be really good shape. That's the beauty of that is clear water and not any kind of rivers coming into it. So St. Joe Bay is always going to be a steady bay, unlike some of the other bays that may have a lot of rivers flowing into it. So keep that in mind. I would even say really off the intercoastal, fishing off the intercoastal should be strong. I mentioned that last week. And let's see, well, I wrote it down. Trolling, if you can fish near shore, trolling near shore, or even taking a kayak out, if the wind's coming out of the north, you can take a kayak out, and folks are catching fish this week, trolling right offshore. They're catching some fish. So if you have a tendency to want to do that, it'll be a good weekend to do it. Okay, we'll wrap it up for the week. We got let's see, that takes care of everything. We got a big show lined up next week, all kind of shows coming up. You get ready for a great weekend. Don't forget your Valentine's Day gift. Don't forget some of those beetle spins. And y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy the great outdoors and find some folks that need some help and do the best you can to help them. Have a great day and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.